What's up? What's up? Good morning, good afternoon. Try to put on the music today, so let's see if the background music is working. Yo, bit loud. Sorry, chat. Okay, how's the volume for the music? Is it alright? Not too loud? How's the volume for the music? Is it alright? What's up, Mr. Wayne? It's a cell, it's a Morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Any advice on micro accounts? We'll get into that now, alright? Let's just have a quick look here at gold. So yesterday we took advantage of those sells from the CPI news. CPI came out basically in between the forecast and the previous, and I would consider that as mixed numbers. It's giving you mixed messages, not really clear cut direction. So we just followed the price action and we saw that it was lining up in line with the higher time frame trend, right? We had that whipsaw up with the news, grabbed some liquidity there from 1930. You can see we tapped 1930 perfectly. And I really like these psychological key levels. So the round numbers and the fives. So 1930, 1935. And you can see we didn't quite tap into that structure, which I've got marked up in a darker line there. So we can see, you know, how I'm approaching this is a little bit different to how I used to mark up my charts with these key levels to pay attention to. Now we're just breaking above 1920 actually, but we can see I've got this gray area here marking this most recent resistance in terms of structure. So on the 30-minute candle close, if we can close above that zone, then at that point I could start to scale in to the 5-minute, for instance, and see what happens here in and around this 1920 level. On the daily, so we just need to zoom out here as well, because I know that we've been bearish, right? We've been bearish throughout the whole week. We've had a very strong weekly candle here to the downside, but look at this zone we are coming into on the weekly right here. All right, strong support, strong rejections here on the weekly. On the daily, the zone is a little bit messy, but we've tapped into 1910 basically, just shy of 1910. And, you know, being a Friday, we may see some reversals as we see profit taking at these lows. That's something that, you know, I was touching on in the London streams already. On Fridays, if you're coming into lows like this and you don't have the volume to break, often gold will move in the opposite direction that it's been moving throughout the week. So here you can see we've got 4 bearish daily candles in a row coming into these lows on a Friday. Are we going to have the volume to break through this very strong area? I don't think so. That's not to say we can't take advantage of sells. You know, taking advantage of the lower time frames, the intraday time frames, and just monitoring the price action. We've got range back down into 1912. If we can find some resistance here, or safer sells, what I'll be kind of looking for the sells today, below this 1916, the support from London session. You can see the structure here that was retested, so that's quite a nice level for sells below the 1916. But then, like I say, once again, once we're coming into these lows, being a Friday, you need to be very careful of these sort of rejections. There's also news in 2 minutes, so actually forgot about that. PPR. So we got US PPR in 2 minutes here. So we'll see how that comes out. Normally PPR is not having a major impact like CPR will, and the CPR was pretty dead. So we'll see what happens with the numbers. But most likely just going to be paying attention to the price action, since we are sitting at this key area on the weekly at these lows, right? Your 4-hour, a lot of bullish momentum there in London session, breaking the previous 4-hour high. You know, it looks like on the 4-hour we have range to 1926 potentially. But we'll have to monitor how we are reacting to that resistance there on the 30 and this 1920 level. News is coming in now shortly. Okay. I don't want to say anything yet. I mean, news just got released, but this could be those rejections off 1920. Okay. Good numbers there for the dollar. Core PPR and PPR coming out good. Also, just note we have this consumer sentiment at 4 o'clock, so 30 minutes after NYSE open. DXY, just in a range here. You know, we can monitor price action within this range, get an idea, but overall, I would say that direction isn't all that clear. I've got this trend line mocked up. I know trend lines are subjective, right? But this is nice clear structure on the hour and the 4-hour. If we zoom out a bit more, you can see this level that's being respected on the trend line, you know. So if we get a breakout of that line to the upside, or more specifically above 102.8, you know that gold sells are going to come in nicely there. Alright, so far it looks like we could potentially be looking at those sells, but after this move, you know, if we just come back into the zone as discussed at 1916. Also tap 1915 there, that psychological level. If we reject this downside and we come and break back above 1920, then this news could have just been giving us a liquidity grab to actually still see these bars play out. So just letting the dust settle. Sound is low, sorry. Yo. How's the sound now? So you can see this general range prices in between 1920 and 1915. If we look further to the left, you know, this was quite a choppy zone yesterday as well. So I would like to see us break out of that area. So I'll just be waiting here. Most probably we'll wait for the 4-hour candle to close, or wait for some sort of breakout below 1916. It's a sell. Justin, you got it. Spot on. Okay, any advice on macro accounts? Macro, I'm not too sure exactly what macro means. Is that like $100 account, $1,000? But when you're trading a smaller account, it's very difficult to risk a percentage. So, you know, you hear people say risk 1 or 2%. There's no right or wrong, you know. Even if you're trading a bigger account, you've developed the skill, you've got the confidence in your system, in your approach, in yourself, in your skill. You can risk 5% on a trade. You can risk 10% on a trade. Nobody's stopping you. But obviously, that's at a point where you understand the risks. On a smaller account, you'll most probably be risking about the same in terms of percent, 5 to 10% per trade. I think that's the only way you're really going to see any sort of desirable returns on that account. If you've got $100 account, it's almost impossible to even risk $1. So very difficult to risk 1%. So yeah, don't get too stuck on what people say. You know, you can draw outside of the lines a bit here and there. Risk a little bit more on that smaller account. But be strict with yourself. Maybe give yourself like a monetary limit. So say, okay, I will risk no more than $5 per trade. And have a daily cutoff. Say, okay, I won't lose more than $5 per trade, and I won't lose more than $10 a day. Losing 10% in a day, you know, it's not great. But on those smaller accounts, it's challenging. You're not gonna make millions off of that account, but you can definitely learn the skill. And like I say, if you've developed some level of consistency and you start to risk a little bit more in that account, you'll start to see nice returns. The main thing is get consistent, no matter what size your account is, really. Of course, the bigger the account. So I mean, let's say you go jump and do a funded account, 100K funded account. You're using a 5 lot now compared to a 0.05. The numbers are going to move so much faster, and you may not necessarily be comfortable with that. So, you know, you got to build yourself up and work your way to that point. starting small, that's how you're going to get comfortable with the risk. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter what account size you have. In terms of being consistent, you should be consistent no matter what. And if you're not, get consistent. I only use micro accounts for news. What is a micro account, guys? Like, what is the definition of a micro account? Put it into perspective for me, Danny. How many chickens can you make on a micro account? 100 to $1,000 account. Risk 1% of $10. That's insane. That's hectic. What's that, 10 cents? I reckon if you've got $1,000 and you are consistent, you have confidence in yourself and your skill, you can turn that to 10,000 in a year. 6 months. Depends if you're living off the withdrawals, which that's going to be very difficult to do. $100, you know, you can grow that to 1,000. Just being consistent. Let's see how the 15-minute candle closes. I'm thinking something off the 5, but you know what? There's no real structure here. I could look at something like the break of this low, stops above this high, looking to come down to 1912. No, rather wait for the 15 to close below this zone, and then see if we maybe get a pullback on the 5. This area is interesting as well. So if you get a closure below 1916, your next candle wicks up into this zone. You know, I could look for some more aggressive entries off of that pullback. You'll see on the 1 minute, we're actually respecting that area quite nicely. Although, when I say nicely, I'm just saying we are seeing reactions there. Price action looks terrible. But just going to be patient here. I think 4 hour will tell us a lot. Very similar situation to yesterday, where we had this pullback through London session, basically through Asian and London session. Very low volume, just gradually pulling back up into that key level around 25. Obviously, news gave you the spike to 1930. But yeah, today we've had a pullback all the way to 1920, also retesting this resistance here. And then that news was obviously good for the dollar, so we're pushing down here immediately from this resistance. But this move up, gradual move up throughout the day, has obviously grabbed a lot of liquidity now. So we'll see if the 15 or 30 give us that nice bearish candle close. 4 hour will also be bearish. Start to scale in, look for a pullback or some sort of sensible entry on the 5 minutes for the sells. So we got nice volume here, but you still need to be patient, wait for it to line up. I have made 4,000 Rand in one day with 300 Rand. That's insane. I have a funded account, but I'm not done with the college. What's phase 1? 6 days. Don't be mad at yourself. You know, it's good to be hard on yourself, but you also need to give yourself some grace. Because when you start to be hard on yourself like that, you know, you're dealing with a lot of negative emotions, and that's going to bleed into your trading. It is tough. I know that when you throw it away like that, and you haven't thrown it away just yet, but I know how you feel. You know, it's not a good feeling. Like I say, those negative emotions will bleed into your trading. So the best thing for you to do is really just accept what's happened. It's easier said than done. If you can, even take a couple days off or lower your risk. Find a way for you to get into a better mind space in order for your trading to start flowing again. You need to just catch your rhythm. I was saying that on the stream during London. You know, I was taking quite a few losses throughout June, and I just said I had to find my rhythm again. And now look, killing it. You know, you have to let things flow. You can't force it. So when you're in that negative state of mind, you just start forcing things. Because you're so bad you want to get back to where you were. The only way you're going to do that is by just letting it flow naturally. Following your system, executing on your edge. Nice closure here on the 15. I like the volume. I'm not overly concerned about waiting for the 4 hour. If I can get a clean enough setup, I think I'll probably have to wait for the 4 hour. Discuss this idea. This would have been a very aggressive entry. 5 minute did close below this zone at 1916, but yeah, I'm gonna rather wait here. All I know is if and when that pullback comes in on the 5 and we get a nice clean setup, it's gonna be a good day. Pullback to retest the support here maybe on the next 4 hour. if we just keep pushing down now, we're gonna start eating up this range here down to 1912, which is what I'm targeting. So we'll just see what happens. But if this 4-hour candle can close below 1915 or even below 1912, then I'm still going to look for the same ideas here, just those pullbacks to one of these zones. Wait for a 5-minute resistance or rejection. What's up, Ben? They didn't want to take that idea. Not bad. So DXY is moving up into these highs where, this is quite a significant level. You can see yesterday when we moved into this key level here, the lows of this range, how strong of a rejection you had. Now, one thing I'll say is if you trade in gold, you trade in gold. You're not trading DXY. But, we'll just take note of this area. If you are seeing strong rejections here, then I'm not going to expect gold to break below 1912. Because then we could start to see those reversals. Is anyone new here today, and where are you guys coming from? How did you find the channel? I saw some other New York streamers yesterday were up to shit. Oh, goodness. I got in at 1915.3. Yeah, that's solid. No, nice. I'm just happy to see volume, you know. We can see that there's nice clear volume. We're no longer waiting in that range. So as long as we're not breaking, you know, back above 1917.5, let's call it. You know, I'm just looking for that pullback now. Confirmation of resistance being formed. And then looking for some continuations down here. Anybody in any trades other than Justin? Or did you take any trades today? Anybody blow an account on CPR? I'm gonna come back now. 4 hour candle closes in 5 minutes. And then just waiting to see that pullback on the new 4 hour. We've come up to retest 1916. That support from London session. 5 doesn't look all that clean. So I'm rather gonna wait here for the 4 hour. I think we could still get a deeper pullback. You may even pull back to 1920. That's gonna be a bit hectic. I don't want to see us pull back that deep. But if we do just straight up reject 1915, start to move back up here, I'm not interested in the buys in this range. I would then just wait for breaks above 1920, 1921 for those buys up to 1925, 26. It's a bit tough with the way that candle closed. I mean, the 15-minute candle looks like a rejection of 1915. Hour candle and 4-hour were bearish, of course, and you have a wick to fill to the downside. But you've closed back above 1915 and that 1916, the support from London session. But that's pretty much what I would only see on the 5-minute. You know, if this candle closed bearish, that's kind of what I'm looking for. That's the price action I want to see. So we have the break below this support from London, retest. It's just going to be riskier because it's the first 5 minutes of the 4-hour candle. But we saw that nice volume coming in to the downside. We've had a minor pullback to retest this support. If this candle closes bearish, that's just confirming that that bearish momentum is there. And then a break of that bearish candle low on the 5. You know, you're looking to come down to 1912. I would prefer if this 5-minute flipped bullish. I don't really want to be tempted into taking the sells now, first 5 minutes of the 4-hour. I'd rather see that pullback to the support right here. Sorry guys, I think I'm muted. So yeah, we just need to be careful of these rejections today. Just need to be very careful. We haven't quite tapped that support I wanted to tap into. But if this 5 closes bearish, we can start to look at something. Yeah, if we can close below 1916 here on this 5, I may give it a shot. Then targets here would be 1912. If we can break below 1912, we could possibly look to have runners, even if it's just to 1910. But you need to be careful as you come down into these lows. You know, so that could be like a break-even point. It's very tight, but with this New York volume, I don't mind going break-even with quite a small, like having a small break-even point. You know, we've had this pullback. Once price starts to move bearish again, I don't need to see another pullback. Don't want to be sitting in drawdown, you know? Can't be sitting in drawdown the whole day. Ain't nobody got time for that. Diamonds, fuck diamonds, bro. Okay, 5 minutes is about to close in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Let's see. We're right above 1915 key level as well. Yeah, okay. No, that's not it. No, that's not the one. Could still get that tap into the support here. 1917.5. I'll see how this 5 minute candle closes. Once again, if we close below 1916, I'm looking at those sells. But I wouldn't want to take it on the break of that previous bearish 5 because we closed above that level. So I don't want to be impulsing when that 5 didn't really give me my entry signal. If it does break the low, it may push, but I'd rather wait for this 5 to close nice and bearish. And that's really showing us that that bearish momentum is back in the mix. And we should start to push. Although look at that one. Strong. Stops so minute. Yeah, chat. I'm gonna give it a shot. Yeah, I'm going based off of the 1 minute there. Taking these sells. Stops are really small. 17 pips. If you want to save the stop, you could just put it above 17.5. Gonna be like 26 pips. NYSE could still give you that tap of this support here. So I need to just make sure that this is playing out how I want to see. I want to see that volume. I want to see that push before NYSE. You've got 17 minutes. So if we're not pushing and holding below 1915 before NYSE, you know, at that point, I'll probably manage my position, maybe close full, depending. If we're sitting right at entry, I'll just close full and wait for that pullback. But like I say, this looks like the pullback. We're seeing that bearish momentum come back in. We shouldn't get another pullback unless we don't have the volume now to continue down. Then, like I say, NYSE can come up and grab some more liquidity. If this 15, it's closing now, can close below 1915, then I'm expecting the next 15 minutes to push here. So I'm happy with that. You know, if I had waited for this 5 to close, I would have been taking the sells here. So, you know, with that more aggressive entry based off of what I saw on the 1 minute, just getting a slightly better risk to reward. Now I've got a little bit more confidence in the position. So I'm quite happy with that. Breaking that previous 15-minute low without a top wick. Just need to be careful. Yeah, 15 looks really good. So if we break this low, the previous 4-hour and hourly low, I would expect quite a quick push into 1912, which will be my first target. And then, like I say, looking to have runners. If we can break below 1912 and have enough volume in breaking this daily low, then I'm expecting us to push down to 1907.5 on the daily. That is this support right here. So that'll be my final target for runners today. Could even push down to 1903, but I don't want to be too greedy here. I don't really want to see the 5 close bullish above 15, 19, 15. This level right here. And if we do, with 10 minutes to go until NYC, I'll probably close 50%. May even close full. You got 30 seconds. Okay, close bullish there above 1915. You're still below this 1916. I'm gonna give it a second here. I like that the stop is quite tight. Doesn't look like we have that volume just yet. The volume I want to see. The reason I did give it a little bit more of a chance, even though that 5 didn't close the way I wanted it to, it was the first 5 minute of the 15-minute candle. That previous 15 gave us a very nice confirmation there, with the closure below 1915. It's come down and filled this wick. So you've created a steeper top wick than I would have liked, but you're right in and around this area, this resistance. So I'm still holding here. Would like to see this low being broken and then go from there. Would of course be ideal if this 5-minute candle could close bearish. Also got 7 minutes until NYC, so tricky. Yeah, not really the 5 minute I want to see. Still right at this resistance. Yeah, I did discuss the idea for the bars based off of it being Friday, hanging in and around these lows, but like I say, just going based off of the price action, which way volume's coming in. You know, we had this positive news for the dollar, saw the swift move down, waited for a pullback, and we basically were retesting this London session support. So that's all I really need to see. And then just looking to come down into the lows of this range, 1912. May potentially have runners. If you are in here and you're not comfortable with NYSE open in 3 minutes, you know, you're sitting right above entry, you can close your position or manage right there. Personally, I'm holding. So I'm setting my final TP at 1907.5. Getting a nice push here before NYSE. If we can close below 15 at NYSE open, I'm expecting the open to give us a push. If not the second 5 minutes of NYSE open. Price action looks good to push down though. Definitely looking good here. DXY looks like it's gonna blast off. Closed right at 15, but nice bearish engulfing candle on the 15 minutes weak bullish candle As long as we can break that low, should be alright. 30-minute closed bearish. Below that support from London session, I'm expecting a push here, at least to fill this wick on the previous 4-hour. NYC volume coming in. Should see a push if we can break that previous 15-minute low. Let's go. If you want to be very aggressive with management, you could even go break even now. If you don't want to see the NYC candle flip, because then you may get deeper pullbacks. But the way it looks, you would want it to just push. But like I say, that push may come on the next 5. So as long as this 5-minute can close bearish. Was that a biltong off the 5 now? No, I would say the 15. 15 is a biltong. Yeah, flipping there, bullish. I would really like to hold off and see how the 5 closes, but we need to be careful here at NYC. Like I say, if you're not getting the push now, you could get deeper pullbacks, a steeper top wick. Yeah, no, that's not what I wanted to see. Looks like NYC may give you that pullback to this support right here, but let's see, as long as we respect this level now. But yeah, I wanted this 5 to close bearish. I think closing like this off 1915 is tough here at NYC. Oh, you no longer go live in the mornings. London session is too slow. London session is just too slow for my liking. I'm tired of it. Need some action. This closure on the 15 is not ideal, I must say. I mean the 5 is not ideal. On the 5, you're still respecting that resistance. Like I say though, the worry is tapping into this support. My stop loss is slightly above that level. I haven't done anything here just yet. I haven't closed out partials, nothing. I'm quite confident in this area here, this zone to reject. You know, you don't want to be too confident. You want to listen to what price is telling you. If we break above that bullish 5-minute high, then expect to see some more drawdown. But you know, seeing these nice rejections here now. 15 flipping back bearish, 30 back bearish, nice top wick. Yeah, that should be us, boys. Payday. That's the 4-hour low for the wick. We've broken that low. So could potentially go break even, wouldn't be a bad idea. You know, I'm just giving suggestions here. But you need to be very careful of rejections in this area. If we have enough volume after breaking that low, you're anticipating a push to 1912. That looks tough. So just gonna monitor on the 1 minute. See what happens here. Setting up like 15 pips. You know, maybe you could close partials, whatever. I'm holding full. Haven't gone break even just yet. Although what I'll do is I'll move my stop loss into above the current candle high at 1917.1, let's call it. Yeah, that looks like a rejection. I'm gonna close half just because we're rejecting here. Taking some risk off the table. If we get back to my entry, I'll close full. Okay, closing full. Nah. Like I say, trading lower time frames, you need to be very decisive. Price is gonna turn on you very quickly. But I had to listen to what price was telling me there. Came into the 4-hour low, didn't give the push. Had to manage the risk. Had to. Yeah, that's tough. Choppy session. I'm out. I probably closed. Let me check here. I mean, the profit I closed was minimal. Call it a break-even trade. Was worth the shot. Now the way this is looking like more of a rejection, holding above this support from London, could start to push up to 1920 even. But you know, just watch how you react to this support. This is the support that I wanted to see us tap into for the sales, but it's just the fact that we've had that push down already and rejected. I don't like how it's looking now for the sales. I think if you're breaking above this zone, we could be pushing up here to 1920. As discussed Friday, we see profit taking at these lows often. You know, we've had 4 straight bearish days. Fuck, thank you for reminding me. I forgot about the news at 4. Okay, we'll stick around for the news. We'll stick around for the news. Still got plenty of bullets here. Maybe that's why you're ranging like this. Completely forgot about this news coming up. Was obviously just looking to take advantage of off of these good numbers here for the dollar at 230. But look at that tap into that support at 1917.5. You got 20 minutes till news though. Probably best to wait. Unless you give the cells another shot. And then the whole idea there would be you would want to be in profit before the news. So let's say, you got something like that. You would definitely want to be in profit before the news and then have stop loss at break even. But I think this is too choppy for me. I'm coming back now, guys. How many days you work out a week? I'm at the gym every day. My rest days I do cardio. But I'm doing like actual weight training 5 days a week. Chop, 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 choppy. News in 15 minutes. I'm gonna do something here, chat. You do your own thing. I'm gonna take a sell here. Lower risk. Lower risk. Keyword, lower risk. Discussed these ideas already. The sells off of here. It is choppy. It is choppy, but we're seeing a nice rejection from that area that I plan to look for the rejections from. So NYSE didn't give you the drive. It gave you a pullback. We managed to manage the position there where we walked away with a break-even trade essentially. You know, so can give it another shot, but there's news in 15 minutes. This is a very aggressive entry, so I've lowered my risk drastically. Stops are still relatively tight, 22 pips. Looking to come down to, or looking to have runners down into this daily support at 1907.5. The news is going to determine if you hit that target or not. So I need to just keep an eye on the time as well, because if I'm not in profit to a point where I can go break even before news, I'll probably just close the trade before the news. Stops here at 1918 again. I'm in half risk. If this 5 can close below 1915, we should be alright here. We should even get a push before the news. And that's why if you see price going against you, get out. Get out. You can always give it another shot if it lines up again. You know, if I had let that last trade just run, it actually wouldn't have hit stop loss, but you know, if it had hit stop loss, I wouldn't be in a great position to execute again. Hello from Italy. Hello, hello. Close below 15, come on. All these candles closing right at 1915. We want to see this last 5-minute low being broken, yeah. If there's enough volume, we should break that low and push. Okay, breaking that 5-minute low. Yes, there's rejections all over the place here, so we need to be careful. But there was a lot of volume in that previous 5-minute. If that volume is still here, we should get a push now. I'm in sales since 1914. Good stuff. I've just logged in. Can you explain your strategy for XAUUSD price action? Price action, fundamentals. The good stuff. 10 a.m. news, yeah. Don't worry. We'll be rich by 10:01. Currently up about 10 pips. You need to be careful in this area. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my stop loss to entry. So I'm going break even on this trade. The reason being is, as discussed when we were in this initial position, is we've already had a pullback. We've come into this area, grabbed that liquidity. We're starting to move away from it. You're not wanting to come back to that area, right? So we've broken the previous 5-minute low. Entries are above this current 5-minute high. You don't really want to see this 5-minute flipping. So I may as well just move my stop loss to entry. It's a riskier entry. This is a rejection area, and we've got news in 7 minutes. So you don't want to be messing around here. So if I get taken out at break even, then that's fine. In choppy market conditions, you know, guys are blowing accounts, losing lots of money. If you can just manage your risk, keep the losses small or break even, that's fine. My stop is at 1915.9. 1915.9. So something like that. This 1915 level is holding here on the lower time frames. Can this 5 close below? If it does, we're not looking too bad, but closing bullish on 1915, expect to just get break even here. Yeah, probably gonna hit break even. Okay, I'm out. Two break even trades. Got news in 4 minutes. So let's just zoom out. See what the news does. At this point, you would probably be better off waiting for a breakout of this range between 1921 and 1912, to be honest. There's news. There's news in 3 minutes. Very risky to be taking entries before news. But do your thing. I wish you the best. That news should determine which way we start moving here. You know, if we just zoom out again, we at quite a significant area here. You'll see it on the weekly best. The support zone on the weekly and all these rejections, right? So the whole week we've been moving bearish here. Coming into these lows on a Friday, it's very normal to see profit taking on gold, where sellers will jump out, buyers will jump back in, and you'll see a reversal. Now, of course, if there's news, that will play a factor. So far we've seen good numbers for PPI. You saw a push down, but if this consumer sentiment is negative for the dollar, then this move down with PPI could have just been grabbing more liquidity for us to potentially move up here. I want to say to 1926. I don't know if you'll have that volume today. You can see we are just in a range. So like I say, your safest trades are going to be out of this range here. Above 1921 and below 1912. Anything in that range is going to be more aggressive. We just gapped up here. So looks like it was just setting up for this push. Possibly. Let's see how the numbers came out. It gapped up though. That's what I don't like. Gapped up right into that 1920 key level. So yeah, I'm gonna need to see breaks above 1921 here for buyers most probably. Come on. Okay. Negative numbers there. So the bars make sense here, potentially. Although, we just need to wait and see, wait for the dust to settle. You're just seeing whipsaws right now. Strong rejection at 1920. Got an inch at 1919 for what? You have a bar stop. That could just be a rejection. But it's, I mean, look at the price action. Ranging. Chop, chop, chop. Previous 4 hour was bearish. That news gave you a tap into 1920. You know, we respected previous 4 hour highs. You could come down into 1912. It's very difficult when you are just ranging and price action is choppy like that. So let's see here. If we can hold above this 1917.5, I'm looking to fill this wick that we created with news and potentially break above that daily high. Because if we break above 1921 with volume, that's the daily high, you're anticipating a move to 1925. US 30 years is a nice example of what I'm talking about on gold, being at the lows on a Friday. So yesterday you had quite a strong move to the downside with that CPI. Coming into these lows, not enough volume to break lower, and you're starting to see that profit taking and buyers stepping back in here, pushing price up off of these lows. Gold, the price action is not as clear where you can see like a clear level, but you can see we're at these lows. This 1915 looks like a very strong area, which the previous 30-minute essentially formed support on. If this 5 closes above here, I could be interested in scaling into the 1 minute even. Nah. If this 5 closes bullish like this, with a body like this, then on the next 5 minute, as you break that high, I'm going to look for something like that. So if this 5 closes bullish, next 5 breaks the high, then I'm looking for that wick for possible break of the daily high 21. But I mean, if you do come back and break the current 5 minute high, you may just get a push immediately and fill that wick. Just going to see what happens, see how that candle closes. How does sales look from here? Yeah, I mean, it's like it's a delicate zone. It's a very delicate zone. If you're closing bearish off the 5, you know, you could look at those sales. I don't like this noise. What would maybe give me a bit more confidence in sales is if this 15 can close bearish. But I don't like that we are at these lows. And I don't think that news that just came out supports the idea for the sales either. Yeah, like I say, between 21 and 12, between 1921 and 1912, the direction is not all that clear. So you need to be very careful taking trades in that area. I mean, as the 15's flipping bullish or bearish, your bias could change from buyers to sells. And at that point, you know, as I discussed the other day, it's probably best to take a step back at that point or reassess. So for me, I'm leaning more towards the buyers here if I'm going to take trades within this range. Otherwise, you're just waiting for breakouts. Buys above 21, sells below 12. So that 5 minutes looking real nice there. If it breaks its own high, it could just push. Very volatile. Like I say, if this candle closes like this, that's what I want to see. Next 5 breaks the high, stops below this 5. Looking to fill that wick at least. Not the best risk to reward, but the idea here is if we can fill that wick, you're coming up into the daily highs again. And with volume, with the story we've built up, being a Friday on gold, being at these lows, if we break that daily high, I'm looking for 1926. I'm not in here. I'm not in. I want to see this candle close. You can have stops below the current 5 or the previous 5. Previous 5 would be about 30 pips. Okay, we've closed bullish there. If we break that previous 5-minute high, I will be in. I'm gonna have stops below the news candle. If we break the previous 5-minute low, then I'm just gonna call it a day. Nice little pullback there on the new 5 minutes. Prices all over the place. My soul's still alive for half a pip. We fighting here. Taking souls, I'm taking bars. Who knows, if we both hold long enough, we might we might take a W. Might get to break even. As soon as we break the 5-minute high, I'm in. No, not in yet. I set a buy stop here. It's not in just yet. 1918.58. I just account for spread, so it's a little bit higher. $15 about to close in a minute here as well. I'm still not in. If this candle breaks its own high, I'll definitely be in. Jeepers. Your 15-minute candle will close bullish there. In 3, 2, 1. And then still looking for that wick fill. 5 minutes closed a weak candle there. Still above this minor level within this range. So as soon as we break these highs, I'm anticipating that wick fill. Stops are below the previous 15. Okay, I'm in. Trade's been activated here. Let's see if we can get these daily highs being broken. $19.20, be careful of that level as well. Just be careful there. The way we're pushing now, I don't really want to see us pull back. The deepest I could really sit through is if we come down and retest the support again. But I don't even want to come that far. So I'm going to move my stop loss to below the support level. Let's call it 1916.8. Extremely tight stop. Well, 18 pips, not bad. So below the previous 5 minutes. You're tapping 1920. Let's keep an eye on this area as we fill this wick. You need to be careful of rejections here. 1921 is the daily high. Break above there. And we should be styling it to 1925, 1926. Come on, baby. Seeing some signs of rejection. If it comes to entries now, then it was just never meant to be today. Bit of a rejection on that 1 minute candle. Are we gonna have the volume, boys? This 5 could at least close above 1920. Nah. Back at entries, I'm gonna close 50%. Closed half there back at the entry. So if it does come back to that stop, you know, I've lost a lot less than initially anticipated. And there's still opportunities to add back that risk back above the daily high here. But yeah, these rejections are not nice, to be honest. 3, 2, 1, 5 minutes. Yeah, that's a strong rejection on the 5. Still closed bullish. But you're having a very difficult time here at 1920, 1921. Have a nice weekend. Thank you, you too. I'm adding back my risk based off of that 1 minute close. You know, if this was a rejection, we shouldn't be forming support like this. So as we came back to entries, I closed half, added back that half now. Whatever happens, happens. But if there's going to be a move today, this should be it. Yeah, we want to see this bearish 1 minute high being broken. I don't really want to see this 5 minute close bearish, because then that's really giving you more confirmation that these are rejections. So let's keep an eye on that 5. If it closes bearish, I'm going to get out, because that's telling me that then these really are rejections. I mean, right now they do look like rejections, but you know, I know that this is a very tough level 1920. So we're still struggling there right now. But you're still respecting bullish structure here. We formed the support on the 1 minute. So let's just keep an eye on how the 5 closes. It's listening. Closed no bottom wick on my broker. That makes you just want to give it a second, you know? Yeah, I don't like that 5 minute close, but we closed no bottom wick. Last 5 minutes of the 30 minute as well. I'm not going to close just yet. But I think if this candle breaks this low, then you want to manage your risk or get out. Yeah, flipping bearish there on the 5. I'm still in here. I haven't closed out anything. I've moved my stop loss in from my initial stop. You know, so I've got like half the initial risk on the table. So I'm gonna give it a second, yeah. Yeah, tough day so far. Two break evens. Third try lucky. Let's see. If this 5 now closes bullish, then that's invalidating that bearish candle. And you don't need to worry too much then. Come on, baby. Push gold. Like I say, once we break those daily highs, now in and around this time, if you've got volume, you should see a nice push. So if we can get up to 1921, it's all going to be worth it. We're going to 1930 or not going? Yeah, you could have run us to 1930. That's fair. That is fair. But that 26 level is quite strong. Let's see. Let's see. I'll set a final TP at 1930. I actually took bars this morning in and around this zone, looking to possibly move up to 1930 through the day. Yeah, those bars got stopped out at break even with this little wick here. So yeah, I'll set a final TP at 1930, but I'm going to be super pleased if we can even get up to 1925. But Friday, you never know. Friday is crazy, yo. That Friday push, eh? We took money off the table. Well done, well done. Yeah, if you took some money off, great. I mean, I think all of these positions have gone into a bit of profit at least. If you even secured 10 pips from each trade today, you would have made 30 pips. That's actually crazy to think about. Come on, gold. 5 minutes closing bullish. Your one minute there is having a tough time. Yeah, and that's the 30-minute close as well. Shit. Nice, very strong bullish candle close on the 30. You know, that's just giving you confirmation of this support down here at 1915. I'm expecting us to move on this candle. It's now or never. The next 30 minutes is going to tell you everything you need to know. I'm short entry 1920. Nice. Of course I'm in bars, so that's an awkward one, bro. What must I say? Good luck. Good luck. I hope you lose, because I hope I win. Let's just be real. There's more people here today. Where's everyone joining from? Good to have you guys here. Who's new? Who's old? Who's coming back from London session? Used to stream London session on this channel. Well, wasn't that long ago. I think I took a month break. And now I'm just coming to take over New York session. It's very low volume, I must say. I'm not gonna hold too much onto hope here. If this candle, yeah, let's just see. Give it another few minutes. If we close bearish on this 5, I'm gonna get out. Close bearish below this line, I'm out. It is the first 5 minutes of the new 30 minutes, so you know you can get a pullback, but I don't want to sit through crazy drawdown or anything. California, Russia, South Africa, London, Atlanta. Lovely. I mean, the risk to reward on this is just worth it every day of the week. You know, even if it doesn't play out, even if we had stops, still up for the week here. Yeah. You know, the 30-minute candle could come and retest this zone, this support zone. But the issue is, like I say, this is a rejection area. So it's tough, very tough. You're just ranging now on the lower time frame. Yeah. That 5 closed right at that level. I think if you break that 5-minute low, I'm gonna get out. Okay, I'm out, chat. I'm out here. Negative 13 pips for the day. Was a fight today, but we gave it a shot. No volume, nah. Full call. Anyway, chat, thank you so much for joining today. Be careful in this range. With these rejections of 1920, maybe you get some volume and move down here, but you know what, it's a Friday as well. It is getting later in the day. You're just ranging at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if you started to see moves down now. But yeah, it's ranging. I'm gonna call it a day. Thank you guys so much for joining. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next weekend. Next week, sorry. Take it easy, chat. Careful in this range. Don't go do silly things on a Friday. You saw here, I had a pretty difficult time today. Took 2 break evens, 1 very small loss. You know, these are not really ideal trading conditions. Breaking above 1921, I would expect you to still get that push to 25. I don't think that looks too bad. You know, Friday we do often see that push or reversal. We've been bearish the whole week. But just be careful, chat. Next week is a new week. What's going on here? Okay. Okay, cheers, guys. I think my mouse is broken. My computer's bugging out. I can't click. I can't end the stream.